Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Welcome to another episode of Faces of NextGen Live. This is the NextGen Genealogy Network's YouTube show that kind of showcases various genealogists from around this whole field of fun study. I love doing this, and my name is Eric Wells. My company is Legacy Left Right, and today I am very, very excited to be interviewing Melissa Finlay. How are you doing, Melissa?
Great. Thanks, Eric.
Yes, my pleasure. I'm really glad that you're here today. And your blog is Boundless Genealogy, correct?
That is right.
Okay, cool. So, how you doing? You excited to be here?
I am very excited.
Now, you and I actually we haven't met in person. This is kind of the first time we've been face to face.
Yeah,
If I recall, and we were introduced to each other through a mutual friend.
that's right. Someone else I've met at another genealogy conference. So
Yeah, so this is kind of cool. I get to know you at the same time as everybody else does.
yeah.
All right. Well, since this is NextGen, we kind of try and connect the younger generations to genealogists. What is your age, or your age range at least?
Well, I'm not shy about sharing. I turned the big 40 next month.
Well, congratulations.
So, thank you.
I'm right behind you in April.
Awesome.
And so, when did you first start researching in genealogy?
So I started as a really young teen. I think I was around 13 years old, and I found this box. Now, a little background: my parents divorced when I was really young, so I visited my dad from time to time, but I didn't know a lot about his family. And I found this box, and it had a folder in it of some genealogy work that he had done many years before, including some pedigree charts and things. And I just started reading through, and I thought, wow, these are my people. These are the people I didn't know that I loved, but I kind of love them now. And that was the start. And yeah, instant love. That's what it was.
It was just kind of happenstance, just stumbling upon a random box in a closet or something.
Yeah, just something that he left behind when he moved out. So yeah, very interesting, huh?
I love it. You know, it's kind of I kind of was growing up surrounded a little bit by these photographs. My grandfather was a photographer, but it never struck my interest as a kid getting into the genealogy side. So it's really great to hear that some kids actually dive into it more in depth than I did as a kid.
Yeah. Well, in fact, I thought for a very long time that I was the only kid that was into it, because I would have my mom. So one of the things in the box is I found out that I had Cherokee ancestry. And I'm not talking about like an old time Cherokee princess or something. I'm talking about my grandpa and my grandpa were part of the Cherokee Nation. So that fascinated me. And I had my mom, this was before I had my driver's license, right? So I had her go drop me off at the Idaho State Archives so I could do some research on these Cherokee ancestors. And
how old were you when you had your mom drop you off?
I was 13, 14, going to the archives.
That's awesome.
The weirdest, looks from the librarians, but they helped me and they were nice. And I really did. I was like, I'm the only non-gray hair person doing this. So
that's kind of what I thought of genealogy before I fell in love with it. Was like, oh, these are just a bunch of old people and gray hair and dusty books and dusty people. And I was totally wrong. People are many that I meet that are just lively and energetic and excited to be doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're not on the internet, then the records are just about the only thing that are dusty.
Yeah.
So I imagine that you've delved into your family and created your family tree over these long years. And who is the ancestor you'd really like to meet?
There's my great grandma Bertha. She's my brick wall. I really swear she was dropped in the middle of Missouri in the 1860s, and figure out where she came from.
Oh, really?
Supposedly my grandma told me, yeah, my grandma told me she was from Germany, and but I can't find her earlier than her second marriage record. Just love to meet her and say, where in the world did you come from? You know,
So
I know it must.
you can't even find her maiden name from the first marriage record?
No, I mean, I know she had a daughter from the first marriage, and I have a little bit of information about that daughter. That daughter died when she was young. She died when she was only 23. So that didn't give me a lot to work with on that angle. But yeah, I know I'll break down the brick wall someday, but I'd really like to meet her.
Is there any way you can do some DNA work on that, like through mitochondrial DNA or anything like that?
You know, that's an area I haven't yet, is the DNA. I'm actually starting my first project with DNA on my husband's side, but maybe I'd come back and do something with her. Right now, my husband's side is more interesting because his grandmother was legitimate, and nobody knew the identity of her father.
Oh, wow.
So enough in time that the DNA actually really helps with that. And I think we know who the dad is now, so that's been exciting.
That's a cool story. What is the most interesting or the most surprising discovery you've made while doing your research on your family?
That is one of the trickiest questions you are going to ask me all evening.
A lot of people were like, I
There's
want
too
to
many.
know all these are different people or
Yeah,
different situations.
yeah. I mean, in 26 years of research, I've found so many interesting things. But maybe the most recent one is husband's great-grandfather. His entire family migrated from Ireland to Ohio, except for him. His wife and one son stayed with him until he died in Ireland, and then they came over with the rest of their family as well. So we didn't know much about him. Record, when we ordered it, it came and it just said some simple things about when he died and where he died. But it said he was a Coast Guard pensioner. I thought, oh, there's a clue.
Yeah.
So I looked up about the Irish Coast Guard and when they were formed, and they were formed very shortly before he joined them. And it turns out a national has all of their Irish Coast Guard films digitized online. So I went into one of those frantic genealogy comas where you just sit at the computer and just scroll and scroll and scroll, right? And I was there for several days. I scrolled all those films and I found so that was a really exciting project for
That's
me.
cool. That's cool. You know, with things, situations like that, what keeps me going is like it's always going to be the next record. Oh, it's not this one, but it's going to be the next one. It's going to be the next one, and that never seems to fade away. It keeps me scrolling through those records time and time again.
Right, it's always the next find, huh?
Yeah.
Really interesting project. In fact, it made family make sense because some of his kids were in the US said that they were born in various counties there in Ireland. And we were thinking, why were they all born in different counties? But it followed his and all of his made things make more sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense if he was just going from port to port.
Yeah, exactly. It's just his assignments and his with him. So
How long was he in the Coast Guard? Did you find that out?
joined in his early 20s and he retired from there. So he was there his entire career.
So like 30 years or so?
Yeah, 30, 40 years, yeah.
Yeah, wow. And this was in 1860s, you said?
He was right at 1800. So,
oh, wow, that
yeah.
early. That's cool. That is really, really
Coast
cool.
Guard was formed right around the 1820s, the Irish part of it. And he joined really within the first couple of years. So
that's really cool. What a neat story. I love that. And getting to see those old records from 1820s and 30s and 40s, it must have been really neat.
yeah, and just, I mean, discovering that they were all online, that was awesome, you know.
Yeah. So do you have any favorite genealogy books? Like any books, not necessarily genealogy, but what do you like reading?
So I am an avid reader. I read all sorts of things, and I probably go through 4 or 5 or 6 books a month. But I really like historical fiction, and I really like to read stories about other researchers and their finds and how they've discovered things. So my books I wanted to share was, the first is called Finding Family, My Search for Roots and the Secrets in My DNA Hill.
I'm going to write this in the notes here. Finding Family.
Yep, My Search and the Secrets in My DNA.
My search for what?
Roots and the Secrets in My DNA.
Okay, and who wrote that?
The author is Richard Hill.
Okay, cool. Got it.
So that one, he found out when he was 18 that he had been adopted. He had no clue before that, and it was kind of a deathbed confession by his mom. He did identify his mother for him, but nobody could identify his biological father. So this is his decade-long search to identify his father. And man, I was so impressed by his record-keeping skills. He kept notebook after notebook. He knew every person he talked to, every record he'd looked at, everything about his search for those 3 decades. And that's commitment. I mean, he finally solved it with his records, but also DNA. The DNA angle really helped. And I just thought that was cool. That's kind of interested in pursuing the DNA aspect of genealogy. So the other book is by Elizabeth Shown Mills, and it is Isle of Canes.
Isle? Isle of Kings.
Yep, of Canes. So, of course, everyone's familiar with Elizabeth Shown Mills and her all of her genealogy reference materials, but this one is her article. I don't know what it's qualified for. It's not fiction because it's people that she researched about, but of course she put in some dialogue and things that she doesn't know what they really said, right? So I don't know what that would qualify as. But it covers 4 generations of this family from the Isle of Canes in Louisiana. I just thought it was fascinating. It was an awesome book about this family and all of her research that uncovered these people. So
I actually hadn't heard of that book. That, to be honest with you, that's really neat. Isle of Canes.
it's a good one. It's a thick book. It took me a while to get through it, but it's a great one. Yeah.
I don't think Elizabeth writes short books, to be honest.
That's true. True statement.
So where do you like to research? Like, where's one of your favorite places to research?
So everywhere, but I don't, right now I'm in the middle of raising my family, so I don't get a lot of opportunity to travel to archives and libraries. I'd love to. I have a huge list of places I'd love to go and research on site. So I've become a very expert at-home researcher. Not only just in online websites, but I've gotten good at ferreting out where the information is held, and I have no problems with making a phone call or writing an email or a letter and requesting information from, but I can't. So I guess my short answer is at home.
And you've got your blog. Boundless Genealogy. What could tell us a little bit about it? Like, what do you kind of write about?
So on Boundless Genealogy, I write about research methodology tips and kind of upcoming events that I hear about that might be interesting to other genealogists. I also participate in the Family History for Children blog link up. Okay. So I'm friends with a lot of the other ladies who write for that. Boundless Genealogy is a pretty new blog for me. I only started this summer as my other blog, finlayfamily.org. That's where I started blogging about genealogy. And my cousins got tired of hearing about my kind kind of the backstory of the research and also methodology. They just wanted to know the stories of their family. And I'm not sure my genealogy friends necessarily want to hear my family stories, right? The family history stories. So I decided this summer to split those out.
Oh, wow.
So that people could find what they wanted. But it's really where I share my passion for genealogy as far as how do you find the records, how do you interpret them, where can you learn more, I guess. So
Sounds pretty useful.
I hope so.
What do you have like a specific area of research that you focus on, and kind of what led you into what got you interested in that?
I've done research across a broad portion of the U.S., but I really sort of specialize in area. So sort of Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, across, to the coast there. Now on getting my accreditation in the Mid-South area, so with the ICAPGen organization.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I take my level 3 test in December, and maybe early next year I'll be finished.
That's a lot of work that's involved in doing all that stuff.
It is, but it's been a goal of mine.
And you're raising 3 kids as well, or 7 kids, and homeschooling them too?
Yeah, yes. I do actually, one of my kids is off to college, so I only have 6 at home, but I do homeschool. And so yeah, the accreditation is a big project on top of that. But it's been a goal of mine for 17 years since I graduated with my degree, so it's time to get to it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Congratulations. Good for you.
Thanks.
And so, do you take on genealogy clients at all? Like, it sounds like you're pretty packed.
Don't right now because of that, kind of limited. So I don't want to commit to clients right now. And also because my husband and I also in our spare times. So
now your sound
have
cut out a little bit, and you were saying that you were putting together some genealogy apps. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So my husband and I have developed 2 genealogy apps. They're to encourage children and family members that might not be so interested in genealogy to become interested in it. So,
well, tell us a little bit about those apps. That's kind of cool. The first one is there's a kids one. Is that right? Yeah,
the kids one is called Little Family Tree.
Yeah.
It's available for mobile devices. I'm going to show you here. It's a home screen.
That's kind of cool.
So we created this one because today's kids really like to use mobile devices, right? And they like to play games. So we thought adults are putting all this information in online family trees. How can we get that back down to the kids? Well, it seems pretty obvious that we should put it in game on a mobile device. So that's what we did. So it's literally so easy for the adults. All you have to do is download the app and log into your tree. It either signs into Family Search or MyHeritage and pulls all your data from there.
Really?
And then, yeah, so it's
cool.
Super easy for the adults, and then the kids just get on there and they play. It has 10 different games, and it teaches them everything from names and dates. It's very visual, so if you have pictures in your tree, that helps them. They learn to connect the name of the person with their picture. It's a fun activity for kids.
Now, is that on Apple Store or and Android, or just the Apple
Android, Store? Apple, and it's available on the Kindle store as well.
Oh, that's fantastic! All 3 of those platforms.
What does
it cost? What does it cost?
Free to download, and 5 of the games are always free. And the other 5 you can try, and then if you want to keep them, it's just $4.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're trying to
and you had it
affordable for families too.
Yeah, and that sounds pretty. $4? You're not making a whole lot of money on that.
Not really. We wanted, as much as I'm passionate about the research side, I'm just as passionate about the sharing side. And I think our next generation, right, I'm a young genealogist, but I think there's even younger genealogists that we need to get involved. Absolutely. And teach them about their family.
Absolutely. Now you said there was a second app that you guys have worked on?
Yeah, this one we just rolled out. It's called Genquisitive. And this one is for, teens and adults to play together. So this one's fun. We have it just web-based right now, and we eventually plan to create some other versions of the game that are app-based. But one person will get on our website and form the game. Again, you log into your family search tree, and you can choose which branch of the family you want to play. So if you're working on, you're getting together with your grandma's side, you can choose her family, and you can, once you form the game, you invite your other family members to join on their own devices. And you just all quiz together. It's fun, it's competitive, and you get to see who knows the most about their family.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Except my kids told me I can't play with them because I'll win, but that's okay. They play with they play with my dad. my dad and my, just not me.
You're the ringer in this. And what does this one cost?
So this one's also free. It just has ads on it, but they're all, handpicked genealogy ads and family ads. So
that's awesome. I love that idea. Both of those ideas.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. And so, do you go to conventions at all? Then, do you bring these app ideas to the conventions?
Right now, we've mostly been doing them at all the Utah conferences.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, we've been at
the area of the country that you're in.
Yeah. So I forgot to say when I researched that I own the Family History Library. That's conveniently located to me.
You lucky duck.
I know, right? But I do have that resource. And at all the Utah conferences this year. So, and I have been speaking at conferences as well this year, and I'll be at Roots Tech in February. So, will you be there, Eric?
I would love to be there. I plan on being there. We're kind of like in the midst of possibly picking up and moving west, and so I'm hoping that won't affect my attendance to this conference, because I really enjoyed Roots Tech. I met a lot of great people. It seems to have a different vibe than some of the other conferences do. So I really liked it.
Yeah, I think they intentionally try and get kind of a different audience there, maybe at Roots Tech. So.
Well, this has been a fantastic interview. Before we go, can you tell us where people can find you on the web? I've got links in all the descriptions across, but go ahead and tell us. You've got your Boundless Genealogy blog.
BoundlessGenealogy.com. I'm on Twitter at BoundlessGen, and on Instagram at Finlay Melissa.
And you can also find your other blog,
FinlayFamily.org.
FinlayFamily.org.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the
if you
.org. That's
want to see how I'm. Yes, I've had that website since 2002, so it's been there a while.
Wow, that's impressive. That's like right at the beginning. That's pretty cool.
Yep. We did blog. We did like a family blog before there was even a name for it. So.
And then you've got those two apps that you and your husband developed, Little Family Tree for kids.
Yes.
And then Genquisitive for teens and adults. And
we hope you'll try them and enjoy them with your family.
And you and I kind of talked a little bit about this before, but you didn't tell me that you can link up your family trees into these apps, and I had no idea that that was possible.
Yeah, well, that's my husband's side of it. He's the tech guy. But yeah, and that's the beauty of it. It makes it so easy. If there's a genealogist in the family, they can share this out through the games. Just so easy. So
that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, before we go, Melissa, is there anything you wanna say? And last chance, I guess. But it's
okay, my final last words.
Yeah.
I don't have any, but this has been great, Eric. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, Melissa, we're gonna go ahead and sign off here. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna have another one in about 2 weeks. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is yet, because I never do that. I don't know why. It's just something I did. But stay tuned, or tune in about 2 weeks. Look for the announcement on the other, like through our Twitter at NextGen, and then on our Facebook page, NextGen Genealogy Network as well. So Melissa, we're going to sign off.
All right.
Thanks to, and you actually sent your kids off to a park so you can have some peace and quiet.
Yes. So you weren't interviewing all of us.
I think that was pretty darn smart. All right, Melissa. Well, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much. And I will see you around the interwebs. I'm probably going to go and download the app and maybe challenge my wife to quiz on our family too.
That's awesome. Thanks.
All right, Melissa. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh.